Hello, people of the internet. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Happy Friday to you all. Hopefully, your weeks are wrapping up nicely. Hopefully, you are getting an early start to the weekend. Regardless, hope you're having a great day. We are continuing with the ARTMS drop. Surprisingly, I believe this was either a 1 p.m. drop or a noon drop, which I feel like is very rare because usually it's 6 o'clock when most K-pop releases drop. But I'm not going to complain. We're going to be checking out the entirety of the Club Icarus EP from start to finish, including Icarus one more time. I believe this dropped that's the club version of the MV, which I'm pretty sure, just based off the thumbnail, is the dance portion of the cinematic version of the MV that we just watched. So we're just going to run the full album one more time. I have the album credits pulled up on the second screen, as is the usual. 6 brand new songs. Technically, it's a 5+1 because their first track, Club for the Broken, looks like it's just an intro track. But that is a-okay with me. It's been a hot minute since we did the Doll album, wasn't it? And I'm recording this pretty much 2 minutes after I finished talking about the cinematic version of the Icarus MV. But if any of the songs in this MV, minus Icarus, obviously, but like, if Obsessed, Goddess, Verified Beauty, or Burn have any elements of the little, like, BGM/OST elements that we got through the cinematic portion of the Icarus MV, then we might be in for a little bit of a treat, because the soundtrack in the cinematic MV was unbelievably well crafted. And just taking a quick glance at the production team on this album, we might be in for a treat and a half. So let's get her started one time. Get yourself a drink if you would like. This will probably run for longer than the MV anyways. I'm gonna crack into my not sponsored by Synchron co-developed by Shohei Ohtani. While we get started with Club for the Broken, track number 1, Club for the Broken. No lyrics. Composition, Artronic Waves. Arrangement, Artronic Waves. Oh, that's hard. Apologies. Ooh. Oh, I love the string runs, and then they offset it with that modern, really aggressive beat. That's very cool. That's a very good opening, like, intro track. Primarily because, well, admittedly, this is I'm gonna be saying this referencing Icarus, the title track, because I've already listened to it to an extent. Is Club for the Broken definitely creates the atmosphere. It's one of those songs. At least that's how I'm perceiving it right now. Again, maybe there might be a B-side on here that has elements of Club for the Broken in it. But as of right now, Club for the Broken very much has this atmospheric vibe to it that sets the scene of the album, rather than be like an abstract for the album, if we want to call it one like that. I'm a sucker for a good classical element in a song. I grew up playing violin, so whenever I get to hear some really fancy string work going on, I'm gonna love it. I think that, like, the jazzy piano opening was really cool too. Not like swing jazz, but like the tasty keys and stuff. I thought that was very neat. That transition into the classical, and then you bring in that really aggressive modern beat into it, I think is really neat, because we're going from one extreme to something similar adjacent, and then to the complete other extreme, and being able to tie all that together like that, it's very neat, very neat. Right. So, oh, fuck off. Pardon my French. But, anyways, track number 2, the title track, Icarus. Lyrics by Jihai and Jaden Jung. Composition Artronic Waves, Jihai, Kwonejin of Monotree, Alice Vicious and Yon of AW Crew, with Artronic Waves and Jihai on arrangement. I'm gonna guess this is pretty much gonna be the exact same as the MV, so I'm gonna lock into the music this time. Don't know why it's in Korean. The piano evolution for the song is so cool. Because it starts in this really pretty minor key, or minor scale. And then it slowly shifts into a major scale. And then here, now that I'm guessing this is the chorus? It's letting the string section do a lot of that oscillating movement that we got from the pianos in the verse. And it's kind of, you know, roll shifting in a way. Because now we're back to the piano doing the movement. I still don't know how they're able to match cut all of the member transitions like this. Add the elongated shoulder strings this time. Yeah, and now you get that kind of sharp rhythmic element going from the lower strings. Shoulder strings doing the movements there. Love having two separate vocal parts moving here. Really cool how they've tied that section into the MV too. You get the background choir doing its own part, and then whoever is doing the lead vocals, completely different melodic part. That's when all the members appear. And when it's just the choir together, use all the members together again. I just think that's connecting it like that is very cool to me. Am I gonna be able to experience the offset vocal hi-hat again? No, I'm not. But the fact that this is there makes me think that this is gonna be another B-side on this album. And if that's the case, we are gonna be in for a treat, I reckon. But Icarus is... What I'm finding interesting now is actually the fact that it was similar to Virtual Angel as well, but both Virtual Angel and Icarus, in terms of like the volume element of it, doesn't actually go through as drastic of like a volume or dynamic change as what I would almost expect for them to do. Like, maybe I'm still thinking in the past a little bit, so I still have Luna music in mind. But maybe Icarus not so much as Virtual Angel, but both songs have had, if you took the volume curves, if you drew a graph and made the y-axis based on the volume or the dynamic of the song, the difference from the lowest point in the verse to the highest point in the chorus, I don't think is as big as it really, or as big as that I'm wanting it to be, if that makes sense. Like, the genre of the song definitely doesn't allow for it to happen this way, but I almost want like a big bombastic, like massive explosion to happen in the chorus. Like, one of my two favorite songs off of that Doll album, it was Butterfly Effect and Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Both songs, I feel like, had that defining chorus moment where it was like explosion. Everything happens all at once. They've compressed it and let it go. With Icarus, like, it's got a really pretty development, especially once we get into that chorus and we get that really like free-flowing, breathy, airy head voice section that comes in. And I think it actually leans more into that kind of cinematic connection that it has, knowing that this also has a cinematic MV to go along with it. But yeah, maybe it's because I watched the cinematic version first is why I'm feeling this way. But it does feel like the title tracks, in terms of that like dynamic curve, isn't as drastic as some of the B-sides are on the album. And, admittedly, there's 4 B-sides to go, and we haven't listened to any of them yet. So I could be wrong in theory, like, at this point. It's just it's a hypothesis, not a theory. So we're gonna try and prove the hypothesis, right? Or do I have that backwards? It's been a long time since I've done science, okay? Bear with me. But let's keep going. Track number 3, Obsessed. Lyrics by Hisa, Vacation, Aran, An Yong-ju, and Moon Ji-soo of MUMW, Kwon Agent of Monotree, Jaden Jong, Ryu Mona, and Amy Y. Composition, Fuxi, Annie Mazinga, Kwon Agent of Monotree, same on arrangement. So do we have, is it just Jiha and Kwon Agent this time around from Monotree? It is. Okay. Very quiet opening. Switch the meter one time? Okay. Man, that is so hard. Oh my goodness. Already, we haven't even reached a chorus yet. We're really playing with the sensation of speed in this song, aren't we? Cool syncopation. I'm standing here. I ain't gonna find. Yeah, the sensation and the control of the speed and the pacing of the song is really well done. Wake up, 내게 send a clue. 또 다른 나를 봐. 내 시선이 달고 어디라도. Just you don't get it. I love how far forward the bass was in there, and then using the little kind of like talking ad-lib to just cut the song entirely. Bringing the drop afterwards to emphasize it a little bit more. That's very smart. I'm standing here. I ain't gonna find. again, we're like really hitting the brakes now. And then we're on the move again. Now, like, I know I mentioned earlier, but this song really does loves to sit on the offbeat in the melody. That's really neat. The fact that the song is so comfortable sitting in the offbeat for a good majority of the 2 minutes and 48-second runtime that the song has. Hey, that's just very cool to me. It almost feels like that syncopation makes this chorus feel faster than it actually is, especially if it's offset by the pre-chorus, which already, like, you know, with the minimal kind of percussion section, if you want to call it that, makes it feel so much slower. Very interesting. Very, very interesting. And it's, I don't want to call it a masterclass because that's the wrong word for it, but this is a very good case study in the practical application of changing tempo or changing the major rhythm pattern of the percussion section and how it affects the sensation of speed as you're listening to it. Can you tell I've been doing a lot of research for my PhD recently? All I can think of is like research theme sounding topics to talk about. But Obsessed really does, it's the textbook definition of it, really, because this song is made by the percussion section and the rhythmic pattern of the instrumental section. The syncopation in the vocal melody is just a plus at this point. Like, the way the instrumental section just plays and toys with the main beat pattern, but also the kind of the amount of the percussion that we get throughout the song is like, that is the driving force. That is the accelerator and the brake in the song. It is very busy. The fact that it starts with a completely different sensation of a meter too, that's very, it's like, you know, they give you a little bit of the beat and they're like, all right, we're gonna start with this, and when the vocals come in, we're not gonna go back to that pattern anymore. Very clever though, very clever. I see you. Right, track number 4, Goddess, lyrics by Miss Heejin, Sungwoo Kim, Angela Bang, Sunny Lee, composition Bad, Haley Collier, Noemi Legrand, and Dan Glazer with Bad on arrangement. Unfortunately, we don't have the lyrics as of yet, primarily because it's too early from upload to get lyric videos for, or an official visualizer, but that's okay. Oh, we've got cool panning again. Alright, so with Obsessed we played around with the pacing. With Goddess, we're just gonna go. It's a very vocally minimal song, isn't it? It's very heavy on the instrumental section. Did I just hear a skirt in there? So, is Goddess supposed to be like an interlude song then? Cool lower octave layering there. There's a really interesting kind of element of like, it almost feels high octane in a way with just how relentlessly fast Goddess is. I'm a little bit sad that there really is just excuse me, like really not a lot of vocal moments in it. Now, ultimately I think Verified Beauty is going to determine how I process Goddess as a song, because if this is meant to be treated like an interlude piece and we're going to get Verified Beauty and Burn as something just entirely different from the rest of the album, it makes sense to have a song like this in here. But as a standalone song, it like, I think the beat is really cool. Just the fact that it has this kind of futuristic, but not quite in the same vein as like cyberpunky, but it's got that really fast pace to it that almost makes it feel like, you know, you're zipping down the highway at 120 miles an hour and you're seeing this, you know, the street lights. I guess it's on a highway, so I don't know what that would be called, but like the overhead lights, you know, whizzing by past the window. You see all the headlights and the tail lights going by, and it's just go, go, go in a straight line to who knows where. But it does have that kind of pace to it, and kind of has me wanting to play like some old Need for Speed game I might have laying around in my Steam library or something. Interesting song though. And I think the pairing between going from Obsessed into Goddess like this is really interesting. Like I mentioned right at the beginning, you know, Obsessed plays with the pacing. Goddess is just we're gonna get up and go and we're not gonna look back. Like this is a runaway train level type of go, go, go. Right, track. Bear with me. Hey, YouTube. I have premium on my personal account, but I like to keep my YouTube recording stuff on a different Chrome profile. So here we are. I really need to switch to Brave at some point, don't I? Anyways, non sequitur moment. Track number 5, Verified Beauty. Lyrics by J14, Yura, Go Yorum, Full Bloom, Jaden Jung, and Sophia Quinn. Composition, Gloryface and Bang Gongwoo from Full Bloom, as well as Sophia Quinn. And Gloryface and Bang Gongwoo from Full Bloom on arrangement. I feel like, was it Doll as well that had a Full Bloom track on top of a whole bunch of Mono Tree stuff? But I feel like there's been a lot of projects where I see Mono Tree, Full Bloom, and then throw in Artronic Waves, and they're like those three together on the same album. Either way, let's go. Walking in the lights tonight, I'm walking in the lights tonight. I'm growing, babe. This feels weird to say, but this is the most standard pop sounding song we have so far. Very delicate introduction to the instrumental section. Wow, the bottom end is really far back in the mix here. Is it weird to say this kind of gives me Triple S Evolution vibes? Well, yeah, this definitely is, as of right now, the most standard pop-sounding song on the album. Love a good harmony part. You know it, verified it. The way that the verified it cuts the song out, or the drop is really cool. But this is a very surprisingly delicate song, I think. Like, there's a bottom end to the song, like there's plenty of bass there, but it's just not as forward in the mix as I'm almost expecting based off the rest of this album, which makes it feel very delicate and light. Then add on top of that the fact that the vocals themselves are pretty high and airy. It like even just adds to the more delicate nature. Cool way of chopping the vocals there at the very end for that like last statement piece there. But yeah, verified beauty. It's, you know, like my brain is already working overtime to like process. Well, it's still working overtime. We're having processed the cinematic MV about an hour ago. But like I've had to use my brain so much for the entire album up until this point that verified beauty feels like I'm missing something because it's a surprisingly straightforward song in comparison to the rest. I am really intrigued as to the mixing choice on this and putting the bass so far away, so far back, or maybe not as prominent sounding. And maybe it's an EQing thing, like maybe YouTube's EQ doesn't like it. Maybe if I listen to it on Spotify, or I guess Spotify is the only streaming platform that I have. Yeah, maybe it's a YouTube EQ thing that's doing it. But either way, it's nice to have a little bit of a straightforward song, because it's like, I know Goddess was kind of like the interlude song in a way, and I guess in that regard, Goddess being an interlude song makes a lot of sense, because you have the very complex, like Club for the Broken even is pretty complex as is. Then you follow it up with Icarus and Obsessed, which are, you know, those are three very brain heavy songs. And so to have Goddess kind of like transition you into Verified Beauty, which is much more straightforward, I feel like that very gradual change back to the normal side of K-pop, if you want to call it that, makes a lot of sense. Makes me appreciate Goddess a little bit more. Verified Beauty, very interesting indeed. But, of course, we have the pre-release, which dropped. How long ago did this drop? Holy, April 4th. So this dropped like 9 weeks ago? Jesus, I'm late to this. Anyways, Burn dropped a long time ago, but it is track number 6 on the album. Similar to how Birth was the first pre-release that dropped, but it was the last album on Doll. I think the last song off of that album that we checked out was technically Butterfly Effect, but either way, track number 6, titled Burn, lyrics by Ji-Hye and Jaden Jong, composition and arrangement done by Ji-Hye of Monotree. Alright, let me tap in here real quick. Face. I'd rather you didn't. Okay, so instead of like oscillating it left and right, we're oscillating the pitch up and down. That's a switch. Hello. Ooh. It's slower than I thought it was going to be. I thought we were going to go pretty quick. It almost has like a classy funkiness to it, which is really interesting. That little melody jumping in there, it feels so bright. It's kind of similar to Icarus in a way, where it's that let's get it burned. I feel like that's setting up for like a big chorus hit, but it's not that firm of a chorus hit. You do really feel the song go through its different phases though. Get your high note, Chindori, okay. Yeah, this hit. I like this drop. I love the funk bass going on. But it's like, maybe I've been too spoiled with drops, but it's like I want it to be like even more extravagant. Ending it with a little woohoo at the end too. Okay. Huh. I'm surprised at this album actually. Because I don't know, again, maybe I've just been too spoiled with K-pop releases, but I feel like this Club Icarus album didn't have like the big headbanger of a song in here. Like for me, you know, Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy and Doll wasn't like a big headbanger type song, but it brought the energy, right? Especially with the big EDM drop that you get in there. And Butterfly Effect, the production and just the scale of the song was... it was like being hit by a freight train, the way the production on Butterfly Effect from Doll was. And to me, like, Butterfly Effect and the effect that it had, I would... no, I don't know if I could find like a comparison to it or not. This Club Icarus, for, you know, as much as they played into the kind of club vibe, the literal Club Icarus vibe in the cinematic MV, we didn't really get like a big club song, did we? Hold on. I'm gonna go back to Club for the Broken real quick. Okay, so hold on. If that's the case, then we're gonna... where is this part? So is this just for the Icarus MV? Is this not part of a song? What? Wait, hold on. Hold on a second. Huh. Okay. Let's talk a little bit. Hold on. I know we didn't really touch a whole lot on Burn, but I think as a pre-release, if it was, if I had no knowledge about what the album was going to be, I'd be, I don't want to say like concerned, but I feel like when it comes to a pre-release, usually you want to make like a big impact statement. So, like off the top of my head, for me, like one of the most memorable pre-releases that we got recently was NCT Dream's Broken Melodies, because that led into ISTJ. And Broken Melodies wasn't like a big EDM banger, but it was a huge vocal heavy song that was just absolutely gorgeous. I think Flying Kiss from the Dreamscape album was also the same thing. I know I'm referring to a completely different group right now, but bear with me, there is a point where I'm getting to. Burn, for me, as a standalone song, knowing that it's a pre-release, had I listened to that first, I would be skeptical on just like the kind of the impact statement musically. Because it's kind of the general trend with this entire album is it's a pretty steady album, all things considered. You don't get a big dramatic heavy song like Birth off of the Doll album. And like it's a little bit more level across the board when it comes to the music and the not the styles but the sensation the songs give off across the album, which is interesting, I think, considering how diverse Doll was. So to kind of flip that script entirely is an interesting decision. I can't really say if I like or dislike it at the moment. Off of first listen, I think I do prefer Doll as an overall package, rather than Club Icarus, but admittedly, this is off of first listen. Doll has had like a year to marinate. This has had 37 minutes, so that might change in the future. But yeah, Burn as a pre-release for the Club Icarus album makes sense because it stylistically very much fits with the rest of this album. But if it was its own independent like single and we didn't get anything else from it, I'd be a little skeptical. Like, okay, interesting. We're gonna go with something a little bit. I don't really want to call it tame because the MV definitely wasn't tame, was it? I remember seeing the Reddit thread when Burn dropped and people losing their minds over the MV portion of it, but I don't know, maybe I had too high of hopes coming into this album, because and there isn't anything inherently wrong with this album. Let's get that clear off rip. This Club Icarus album is really well put together. Like the production is unbelievably high quality. It's like they've taken the quality of the production from my two favorite songs off the Doll album and they just spread it out across all 6 songs. I think that's really, really, really cool. But yeah, it's like I want more variety, if that makes sense. Like I think the variety in genres is pretty good, and especially with a song like Obsessed, you get the variety in the pacings of the song as well. But it feels pretty similar in terms of like the sensation you get from every song. And especially when we get the that clubby song you get in the lead-in of Heejin walking into Club Icarus in both MVs. That clubby sounded like it absolutely pops off. But it's not on the album. If they made a banger sound that good on just that short section of a cinematic MV, then drop the full song, my brother. Like, please. Do you get my point? Like, I think the cinematic MV from Icarus had so many cool musical elements that never saw the light of day as a full-length song, and it makes me feel things. It makes me feel things about it. Many different emotions going on in my head right now, but no, it feels like leaving all those little snippets of good songs in just the cinematic version of the MV feels like such a waste, because I bet ARTMS could have pulled off worldies, absolute heaters, just based off of those little audio cues. Huh. Interesting. Interesting. But you know what? I think this was actually a really good listening experience, purely because ARTMS, at the end of the day, especially after the doll project, is very evident that, we're gonna have a little bit of the musical creativity that we got from the Luna days. Like Luna didn't go the simple way when it came to music, and with Doll, we got the individual flavors because we got, either the unit or the solo music coming first. Like, we had a Heejin debut solo, we had Hustle debut solo, we had Arai's Circle make a return, and then we had their music style come into the different pre-releases that we got with pre-release 2, 3, and 4, that Doll album. And we had that huge variety. I feel like we don't have that huge variety with this Club Icarus album, and it makes me crave it more. Like, we were fed so well first time around that the second time is like, I want more. And maybe it's the fact that we don't have, 10 songs, right, off of the Doll album? Like, we have 6. So the four song difference could have been the 4 songs that we got the variety from last time around. And that's really it. Like, I'm going to playlist this album. If there's no if buts and maybes, I won't do absolutes. If you get that reference, shout out you. But I'm here for it. I wonder if what would a full length version of Club for the Broken would have sounded like. With like proper lyrics and everything like that. What would that have been? So many questions. But I am gonna wrap it up here because I have to go make myself some dinner. But thank you all for listening along with me, watching along with me. Hopefully you enjoyed it as much as I did. Actually, do let me know, if you would like, of course, do let me know what your thoughts are on this album, because I would love to see the kind of general feedback from people who maybe like solely focus on ARTMS / the Luna extended universe, so to speak, or the various multis we have around here. Yeah, because I reckon people's opinions are going to be pretty diverse on this album, so do let me know if you would like. Of course, no need to do it if you don't want to. But one thing is for sure, one last request from me today. Let us work together as a community to bring a little bit of extra happiness back into the world, whether it be, checking in with your friends and family, holding the door open for somebody, or even picking up a piece of trash off the street. Just one small act of kindness that may brighten up someone else's day to day. And know that wherever you are in the world, should you ever be going through a tough time in your life, for whatever reason it may be, even though I'm just some guy on the internet who waffles about music every time, know that I will always be a friend, ally, and a shoulder to lean on whenever you need me. So take care of yourselves, take care of each other, spread the love, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.